Beneath this mask, there is more than flesh.
About that because you are going against science as far as when life begins.
No, I'm not going against science.
Conceived.
I'm not going against
Yes,
science
you
at all.
are. Humans
I'm going for the point of viability.
Viability is literally means alive. That's what it means. Viable, it means alive.
Okay. So up until a certain point,
if a baby can live outside of the womb, yes, we got that.
But a baby cannot live outside of the womb at 20 weeks or 20. It needs a lot of, like, even the baby that's just born cannot live on its on
Monica, do you have any children? Wait, 1 second.
A baby born at full term that is healthy and normal should have absolutely zero need for any kind of medical intervention.
No,
do you have any children, Monica?
At 20,
still not.
You know, back in the day, they used to not even name a child after it was born because
amount of medical intervention.
First 40 days, like why they celebrate in different cultures, they celebrate first 40 days because.
What's going on? This is your Silver Stranger 01. Strangers gather as the world is on the verge of shatter. Let's get into it. Today, we have black women on a mixed panel with some other white women. They have a fiery discussion about pro-choice. Apparently, we have pro-choice Republicans that feel like they have justified reasons for supporting abortion. All right, let's sit back and enjoy.
Babies die within the first 40 days, so they weren't even naming a child up to that point because
this is where you get the 3-month rule from.
Right. So like, I mean, should we go back to that and say, well, if you don't have the technology to keep the baby alive, then it's not viable, after it's born until 40 days.
This is how we got to slavery. When you have someone trying to place emphasis on who's more alive or whose life is more relevant or more.
Who are you making a slave?
You
are making a slave? Babies are like slaves.
You're making the woman a slave. If
No.
you're going to force a woman to have a baby,
telling a woman that wasn't a baby is a lie to her, and it's a lie as a lie as a lie. Telling a woman that what she's doing, getting an abortion, is just a clump of cells, leaving her with PTSD, possibly killing her through the process, it's a lie. We are not being told the truth. The media overwhelmingly is pro-choice.
That's not a lie.
Yes, it is. That's definitely a heartbeat.
Please look up any kind of medical or scientific information on any of it.
But you admitted it.
So just to play, hold on, guys. Just to play devil's.
Go ahead.
Just to play devil's advocate for a second, I can see where she's coming from with her point, because as Republicans or as conservatives, we believe in anti-government. Well, not anti-government, but we don't want the government making decisions for ourselves. So, and from that perspective, and I'm sure Shelley, you can appreciate that, where we shouldn't have government choosing what we do to ourselves, from vaccine mandates and all of that stuff. We talk about that all the time. So from that perspective, I can understand. But the science, Monica, do you have any children?
I do. I have 2 children.
And at what point do you remember that you started to feel the baby moving?
Oh, gosh. That wasn't until 4 or 5 months down the road.
And what time? Hold on.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. And at what point did you say that the child has a heartbeat or viable?
6 weeks.
Well, the whole thing is
what she said.
It doesn't matter. I wanted those children.
That's not my point.
No, okay, so
that's not my point.
Let me answer the question, T.
That's not my point.
Want or not, it does not change what is.
My point
does not change what is.
I used to think like this. I used to be pro-choice up until recently. And like, it's even like that comment that you just said, Monica, like, I wanted those children. Like, it's really selfish for us as women to say, well, I planned that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a choice we made.
So that's my point.
Because that's not you. Like that's another body. I mean, that is totally a different human being.
Child sacrifice. This is demonic and evil. And this is why I'm telling you about the slave mentality, which I was mentioning, because this is what slave masters, their mentality.
You're making the woman a slave.
The woman. How are we making a woman a slave?
You are making women that don't want to have
change
children,
gender. We can remove breasts. We can do anything we want to our body. But when you have a baby, a life inside
where they're going to
that's when it changes.
Where they're going to be unloved, where they're
why can't we normalize adoption? Why can't we normalize adoption for working class families to make it so that people don't?
Do you have any idea what the adoption market looks like?
It needs to not be like that. And as a
legislator, as a lawmaker,
those platform, that's something you should be pushing for, is normalizing
or less pregnancies.
There are 400,000 kids in our foster care system.
And it costs a crap load of money to adopt a child. We all know that. It needs to be cheaper. It needs to be easier. The vetting process needs to be better.
All of the people that are pro-life standing up for these little kids that already are.
Well, you're a Republican.
There are plenty of organizations that help mothers.
And people are going to vote.
No. There are organizations that help mothers and babies.
You know what's absolutely amazing? Who here has been through foster parent training? Who here has been a foster parent?
I have been. I was a foster parent before.
And what do you learn? And what do you learn in that? What do you learn about?
No, you're right. The system is an albatross. It is. But as a legislator, wait a minute. As a legislator, that would be one thing that you should be advocating for, to make it better and easier for people to adopt and have foster kids. That's number one. Number two, I want to respond to what T said about it being our body. I totally appreciate the government. What you said, T. No, I don't want the government dictating what we should do. But guess what? A baby in the womb, that is not our body. It's a whole different body that is gestating for a certain amount of time in our bodies. So there are two different entities that are there, that are involved. So when you say that a woman doesn't want it, you are basically admitting that the choice of whether or not a baby in utero lives is based on some whimsical, emotional woman at whatever time saying, well, I want it and I don't want it, as if we're going to the candy store.
Do you have any idea what makes women decide not to have children? Do you have any idea?
Selfishness.
Well, actually, majority of abortions.
Not enough birth control.
Selfishness.
Birth control's free in Maryland.
No, majority of abortions happen for inconvenience.
Aside from all of those, do you know reasons why women decide not to have children?
Selfishness.
Yeah, it's really just.
Yes. A lot of times, yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes about 3% of the time.
Spent her entire childhood being abused, knows that she is not capable or ready as a person to not do that to the next generation, and makes the responsible choice not to bring a person into a situation knowing full well that their support network
that should be happening before the act of sex.
That should
be happening before the intercourse.
Accountability.
That type of thinking.
You know, do you get to decide when? Do you get to decide when contraception works?
You get to decide if you want a baby or not. Why not?
Yes, you do. If you're in a situation like what you described, hold on. If you're in a situation,
anybody, you're all talking at the same time.
In a situation that you described, and I get it. Some people are in a very difficult time in their lives, and that should make a woman be more careful and more thoughtful. And so what I'm seeing in this society is that a lot of women who are in bad situations, bad places in lives, they're still not being careful. They're not choosing their partner properly. Oh, I know. I mean, I've been around.
Well, I have so many friends who got abortions that, like, I trust me. Like, I have known many people who did it out of convenience. Like, I know.
Jamel Hill just came out today and said she got one when she was 26. She got pregnant and she just decided she didn't want to have it, so she aborted it.
Let's take a few steps. Let's take a few steps back. Even wait, just take a few steps back. Do we know who Jane Roe is? I mean, that the whole case was built on a lie. Jane Roe, who was Nicole McCurvey, I forgot her name. But
so are you saying, regardless
she,
of Roe versus Wade, are you saying that women
it's the same thing. Can I?
Notice how she doesn't want her to finish her point. This lady should have never accepted this debate. She getting chewed up. Man, they are chewing this lady alive. 5 against 1. Yo, she didn't want her to get that out. She's like, oh shit. She bringing up the bullshit ass Roe versus Wade case. She's done for. Let's finish watching.
I never finished. I didn't say anything yet. What I'm saying is, it's the same thing. She was a bit promiscuous, and that's why she wanted to have the abortion. Most of the times, that's why these women have abortions, because they're using it as a plan B or as a form of contraceptive. And let's not forget about the real reason that Roe versus Wade even happened in the first place. All of it is a lie. It was built on a lie, because she came back later and said she lied.
It doesn't matter. Do you understand that what we're saying is women in the United States of America are second-class citizens?
But you're the only one on this panel that thinks that.
Whoa. Can I finish my statement, please?
Us other women don't agree with that.
I don't care whether you agree with it or not. This is literally what's happening to women that are not in the state of Maryland. They are now second-class citizens.
Because they gotta
control their own body, and they are being told that they have to have babies they don't want to have or may not physically be capable of having.
It's very interesting what you said.
This shit really pisses me off. It was funny at first, but it's starting to get really annoying. There are women that sit up here and argue about women not having the choice to kill their children. She didn't want to have that baby, and she's forced to have it. Close your legs. What? All you gotta do is keep your legs closed? What?
You even understand, Colleen, that there are states out there that are penalizing women for going out of the state?
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Not a lie.
First of all, abortion is
there's also clauses in several of the states that actually prosecute women for having an abortion.
In which state?
Oh, Missouri's one of them.
That's a lie.
No, it's not.
That's a lie. They go after the abortionist, not the woman.
No.
This is a lie. And every state allows abortion in the sense of rape or incest. I found that out today. So that kind
not
of
every state does.
And for the health of the mother. If the mother is in a life and death situation.
And even Georgia added to the ranks yesterday with their 6-week ban. Ridiculous.
It doesn't even matter what you're saying. You are acting as a slave master. You are
You're acting like a slave master.
No, you are, because you are trying to say one lifestyle is valued over the other. May I finish,
women
You-
to
I'm
have
letting you finish.
babies
Let me
that
She's doing that
can't
shit on
have
purpose.
Once
What do you mean
again,
they can't
them
have? They made a
value
choice. They made a
over life.
decision
You are
to
placing
procreate.
value
With-
over life, and that is what slave masters do.
Right.
That is what you're doing.
You know what I love about all of this? What I absolutely love about all of this? None of our opinions matter. Not at all. Not one bit.
No,
Not
you're just-
whatsoever. Because our country is not run on people's religious books.
We're not
morals,
talking
and
about
values.
religion. We don't want to run this country based on religion.
Well, then
Common
how
sense.
else-
This is
how
common
else are
sense.
you determining
And
what
already
life
surmised. We already surmised here.
I
based on
mean,
this
you've mentioned-
conversation that you don't have a biblical bone in your body. So that
Oh,
whole
I
shit
do.
has,
Quite a
no.
bit.
So that has passed. We are not even
Wow.
talking about religion.
So just because I actually believe in
Because you're
people's
not, you
freedom,
can believe all you want.
and
You're
I
not talking
believe
Bible.
in-
We're talking.
Oh,
You are
no,
not
see, this
talking
is what you
Bible.
don't get to say. You don't get to say that because you
I
don't
do,
know
because
me,
it's a
KJ.
fact. The
No,
Bible
you
says
just
what
judged
you're
a book
stating
by
is
its
not
cover.
biblical. You're
You
not
just judged a
stating
book by
biblical-
the fact that
you're
I
not
believe in
stating
people's
biblical.
freedom. You know
You're
what?
not
Jesus
stating
looked
biblical.
after
You wouldn't
the
even
least,
say
the last,
science.
and the lost.
You wouldn't even
And you
acknowledge
know what?
science.
I'm sorry, what? You
You
keep on
have-
attacking me. You're telling me I don't have a religious bone in my body. And you know
No,
what?
I didn't say that.
I was
I didn't
raised.
say that. I
That
said
is
you don't have
literally
it.
what
No,
you
I
just
didn't.
said 30 seconds
Well, I
ago.
didn't. I
A
said you have
biblical
a
bone.
biblical bone. You don't have a biblical bone. There are a lot of people out here talking religion, which
Oh,
is,
I've got a biblical
So
bone.
I have
I
an
go
ask
back and
another
forth across
question.
that book
When
anywhere
there's
you
a
want.
because there's nothing
I was
biblical about
raised-
anything you
I
said.
was raised
If
in a
there's-
religious
talking
family,
about-
and I was raised between an
Well, you
atheist.
raised wrong.
When I was a teenager, my worst offense was going to church.
Well,
Okay?
that's on you.
Excuse me?
Okay. I didn't ask you about all that. What
Oh,
I'm
well,
saying
then don't tell me I don't have a biblical bone in my body
biblically,
because
you
don't know
have
shit
not
about
said
me.
anything biblical. You have not said
Excuse
one
me?
thing biblical.
I
You
have
have not
said
said
plenty
one
that is
thing
biblical.
biblical.
You have
No.
said a lot of theocracy.
So
No, I've said biblical. I've actually quoted Bible.
can I ask another question, please,
No,
KJ?
You are.
I have one more.
You're quoting whichever version of the Bible that you
Well,
want
we
to
don't need
read.
to talk about that because you have
And
not.
I'm
You
sorry?
have not said anything biblical. You've talked nothing biblical. So what were you saying, Kelly?
One more question. It makes me think of also like I know that if there's a homicide that happens and the pregnant woman is killed and the baby is killed, it's actually considered as two people, double homicide. Do you disagree with that? Do you think that shouldn't be the case?
If you actually look in those cases and you look at the cases closely and look at the information, it does depend on where in the pregnancy the woman is, whether they actually charge them with murder or not.
So again, we're talking about value. Again, this is what this slave master continues to talk
but
about.
we're not. But when it comes
Continues
down
to
to
look
governmental
whether the
sex,
value of life, how
their
whatever stage
value-
of gestation the person is in, how that value matters based off of whether they can be killed or not. These infants or these babies in gestation, she places value on that based on where they are in the point of their gestation. Similarly to back in the slave times, when slave masters place value based on the color of your skin. So if
or whether you're capable of working or not, or if you're strong enough.
you are not valued as much as a white person. Here, the same way, she is saying that based on the time of gestation, Ms. Spearman is saying that there's no value on your life, whether you.
That is not what I said at all.
That is what you said. That is what
not.
you said.
But you said it's based on the
not what I
female.
said.
Monica, I have one last question for you. So since the value or whether or not the baby is wanted is based on whether or not the woman, the mother wants the baby, once the child is born, is it okay if maybe, like, let's say your children or my child or whatever, maybe, one day I decide, well, I don't want you anymore. Is it okay then to get rid of my child at that time?
No, I don't think that's right. If you made the choice to follow through, and if you made the choice to have a child, you are responsible for that child.
But what if I change my mind?
She leave?
Uh-oh.
No.
No, something's going on with her.
Oh no, we lost her. Monica, where are you? We have so much.
She's not coming back. Let me save you guys some time.
It's the spirit,
She's not coming back. Wow, that was something. You can always tell when you start speaking common sense and they try to stop you from getting out all the thoughts you had by over-talking you. That's how you know you got them. That's how you know they're wanting to drown out the truth. Anyway, you guys know what it is. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, stay dangerous, my silver strangers. Peace.
Why won't you die? Beneath this mask, there is more than flesh. Beneath this mask, there is an idea, Mr. Creedy. And